One key detail in Mary, Missy, and Mima's returns in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is clarified by executive producer Steve Malaro. After George's death and subsequent funeral in young Sheldon, life goes on for the Coopers. Sheldon is in Pasadena, California, starting his post-grad studies at Caltech, while the rest of the family moves on with their lives in Medford, Texas. For Georgie and Mandy, that involves raising baby Cease and navigating their new marital status in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. However, they will spend more time with the McAllisters instead of Georgie's family. That said, Mary, Missy, and Mima will still appear in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. However, instead of being series regulars like in young Sheldon, Malaro clarifies that they will only be appearing in the first 2 episodes of the show in a new interview with TV Line. Beyond that, there is no confirmed information. Read his full quote below. Zoe and Annie are in the first episode, and Reagan will be in the second episode. Why Mary, Missy, and Mima need to appear more frequently in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage? Georgie needs to remain connected to his first family. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is confirmed to pick up just a few months after the young Sheldon final. Because there's not much separation between the shows, CBS can easily continue the Coopers' story from the Big Bang Theory prequel. This means that the new expansion series needs to feature Georgie's side of the family. For context, Georgie and Mandy are not moving out of Medford. Instead, they're only living across town from his childhood home. Not seeing them with Missy, Mary, and Mima will raise questions about their whereabouts or the status of their relationships with the couple. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage cannot preserve the established canon if Georgie barely sees them in the spinoff. Secondly, the Big Bang Theory mandates that Mary and Missy remain in regular contact with Georgie. Per the eldest Cooper kid during his tense conversation with Sheldon, he begins taking care of the family after losing George because Mary was too grief-stricken to function. Meanwhile, Missy returned to her rebellious ways. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage cannot preserve the established canon if Georgie barely sees them in the spinoff. As for Mima, it's only fair that the couple check up on her, considering everything she has done for them on young Sheldon. Finally, it will be a massive waste if CBS doesn't bring back fan-favorite characters from their premiere comedy. Young Sheldon was forced to end despite still being so popular because of the Big Bang Theory timeline. This made it so difficult to say goodbye to the Coopers, considering that there are still so many more stories to tell, especially about Mary, Missy, and Mima. The best Georgie and Mandy's first marriage can do is to ensure that they capitalize on the prominence of those characters. Will Sheldon also appear in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage? The Coopers' boy genius officially moved to Pasadena, California. Therefore, while there are no concrete plans for Ian Armitage to reprise his role as Sheldon, it's only a matter of time before he appears in the Young Sheldon sequel. The primary reason for Young Sheldon's controversial cancellation was Sheldon's move from Texas to California. The Big Bang Theory prequel ended with a shot of him arriving at Caltech, where he will study and eventually work for the next few decades. That said, it's also worth noting that, before he really settles down in Pasadena, he is expected to come back to Texas, especially since he still doesn't have a solid social circle on the West Coast. Therefore, while there are no concrete plans for Ian Armitage to reprise his role as Sheldon, it's only a matter of time before he appears in the Young Sheldon sequel. For what it's worth, producer Steve Holland has hinted at when Sheldon may appear in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Unlike Mary, Missy, and Mima, who can drop by any time at the Cooper McAllisters, the boy genius can only pop up during special occasions, including holidays. Whether that happens in the first season of the show is currently uncertain, however. How Georgie and Mandy's first marriage differs from young Sheldon. The new spin-off is more like the Big Bang Theory. Aside from the change in cast, there's one more difference between young Sheldon and its new spin-off. Unlike the family comedy/drama, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will be a multicam show. This means that it will film in front of a live audience and will feature the increasingly divisive laugh track. The switch makes it more like The Big Bang Theory, which had the same setup. Production for the show has already started, with people involved in the project, including Emily Osment, confirming their returns to the set.